Hello everyone, welcome to Club Reaction to Sturm Graz 2, Rangers 1 here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. We are live on YouTube and on X tonight, so I'm pretty sure the chat will be full of a lot of colourful comments because I'm sure there'll be a few coming from me and I'm going to say guest, you're not a guest, me and my fellow Club at 22 podcast. I don't know. I'm Scott Carney. Joining me tonight is Ali Pearson. Ali, first of all, congratulations, mate. All the best to you and your good lady, mate. Your wife to be, mate. Welcome to the real world. Welcome to the real world. But congratulations, mate, and welcome to this fun-packed reaction pod we're going to do.
Yeah, no, thanks very much, and to all the messages I've had as well. She did say yes. I've kept it under wraps. I told absolutely nobody, Carney. You know that 'cause you didn't even know.
No, I didn't know.
The only people that knew was my sister who helped me, and my partner's dad as well. So he knew too. I had to ask him, obviously. So
Good lad,
yes.
good lad. I brought you up well, mate. I have. I brought you up well.
I know. I phoned my dad just before I did it as well, and I told him that I'd asked her dad as well, so he was happy I did that. So
Yes.
yeah. But no, thanks very much. But aye, tonight Rangers, same shite, different day, if you want to say. We'll get into it, Carney. Tonight, let's be honest about it. That mob we played tonight, they're bang average. Rangers shouldn't be getting beat off teams like that. But if you start the way we started, regardless of how we played better in the second half, but if you start the way we did and you gift goals the way we do at the moment, you don't deserve to win games of football. And it's changed nothing for me. I know you boys done the Livingston game. I caught bits of the Livingston game. We get out of jail big style in that game with a 94th minute goal to win that game, but it's no changing anyone. You can see in Twitter tonight, you can see after the Livingston game, we are just kicking a can down the road at the moment, Carney. And how far do you have to kick the can down the road before we go games a bogey with them? It's no changing.
That can's not going anywhere. That can's just going to continue to get kicked, mate, because I genuinely believe, as fans, we're the only one that believes that there is even a can in the road. I am at the point when I'm coming on to do reaction pods after games where I'm like, there's not much more else that I can say about how much I believe that this guy and our current club and the way things are heading right now is a farce. It's a joke. It really is an absolute joke. And for one main point that I'm going to come to tonight, I think that tells you the whole reason why. Obviously, there's news broke earlier in the week, mate. We're not going to talk about that. We'll leave it and we'll discuss that further next week. Next week, I mean tomorrow night, we'll discuss all that. This is purely about tonight's game. I can't really disagree with anything that you said, mate. Am I shocked at what I've seen from Rangers tonight? No. Am I shocked that anybody's tuning into this podcast after watching that game, hearing both of us say this is a absolute farce and Russell Martin has to be removed from his job? No, because we all believe it. Every single one of us believe it. He's got the audacity to say in a pre-match press conference that somebody came up to him in the city and said, "Oh, the criticisms went too far, and yeah, we've got your back." You're a liar. You are a liar. I've not met any Rangers fan, and I speak to a lot of Rangers fans with, as I say, because of this site more than anything else, mate, because of this channel, you speak to a lot of Rangers fans, and not one of them are telling me that Russell Martin is a guy to take Rangers forward. So enough is enough. Again, I'm saying it, enough is enough. We're just all at sea. We really are, and it's an absolute calamity. It's a car crash. It's all the cliche superlatives that you want to punt at this Rangers team. It's dire. It really is absolutely dire. Russell Martin has broke a record of 22 matches that Rangers have conceded away goals, I think it was. Is that what it is? And it was a record that stood since 1897. 1897. So I don't know how much more evidence that you need, and that's not even my main point. The starting 11 tonight, he made one change. Ali Shamiti coming back in to start up top. Not a real shock in that, mate. I don't think. I think that was always kind of going to be the case. And Barron starting in the middle of the pitch again. No shocks in the starting 11, though. It's probably what we'd all expected.
Yeah. Ant-Man, Gassama, either side. I thought Calamitous would come in. He did that against oh Christ, who's the mob we played in the first bloody leg again? Yeah, Ibrox. I've forgotten. That's how depressed it is.
Genk.
Sorry, Genk. He did that for Genk, brought Calamitous in for that game. And in the middle of the park, you're looking at what do you choose from because Diamandi's out. Does he go with Conor Barron for a bit of energy? And he did, to be fair. So it's when I seen the team lineup, I thought, yeah, it's what it is. The only guy I thought maybe brought in was Rothwell because I thought he's looked better coming off the bench recently. But Conor Barron, again, I mean, you'll come on to individual players, can he? I'd say I don't think he's good enough for Rangers. I really don't. All right, squad player domestically, but he went with that, and I think it was to add a bit of energy into the middle of the park.
I actually thought Barron was okay tonight, mate. I'm not actually going to lie. I actually thought he was all right.
I don't think he was great.
Do you not?
I thought great. No.
I thought he was all right, mate, for what he's getting asked to do. I thought
he's not right. In terms of midfielders, Carney. We'll go on to another midfielder who I thought was bang average tonight. I won't say his name yet, but no, Conor Barron. I'm not slagging Conor Barron. I think he's a good squad player in Scotland. I think he's a good option to bring off the bench or play at Ibrox against a Dundee, for instance. But I don't think he's good enough for us.
I would play him over Diomande every day of the week, mate. Every day of the week, I'd be playing him over Diomande. Absolutely no doubt in that for me. I think Diomande's awful. I really do. I don't think he's great at all. I mean, the guy's got ability, he just doesn't show it. Yeah, so look, as I say, we get into the game itself, and Rangers just do what we always do. We don't start games. We start terrible. I mean, honestly, it's shockingly bad how we start games. And I actually put a tweet out, mate, that watching Rangers in that first half in particular was like me playing my 3-year-old son at FIFA. It's incredibly easy to play against us. It's incredibly easy to find your pass. It's incredibly easy to create yourself an opportunity. No matter what they tried, they broke through us time after time. And then we concede an absolute comical goal. I mean, the defending is not even, can't even be classed in the bracket of defending. It's a throw in. We had a throw in, and about 5-10 seconds later, they're 1-0 up. And it's just error after error after error, and we still can't defend. And immediately, mate, we all know, like as soon as it goes, they score. Everyone's looking at the screen, watching the game, and going, "Yeah, of course."
Pretty much every goal we've conceded this year, Karen, we've conceded a lot of goals so far under Russell Martin, have been comical. You're waiting for it. It's the defending. This season in particular has been one of the worst, and we've seen quite a few bad seasons defensively with Rangers, but they're all at sea. And as you say, we had a throw-in, and from the throw-in, we concede a goal. John Souttar doesn't cover himself in glory, but then either does
Cornelius
either at all as well. Ball comes to the boy, and he's hits it back in the net, and you're 7 minutes in, you're going, of course we're going to do this. We are, I know my favourite word's powder puff up front, but we are powder puff at the back, and bang average teams can cut through this Rangers team with ease. But goals like that, it's worse than schoolboy football. It really is, especially when we've got possession of the ball down there, and we're all at sea at the back, Carney. It's frightening how bad we are at the back, and that was you come to expect it now with this Rangers team now, which is a sad state of affairs. But when I seen it at 7 minutes, I've lost the anger, Carney. I mean, I lost the anger last season, and this season I've lost the anger too. You just go, of course.
Yeah, I think I've went full circle, mate, and I'm getting back to the point of being angry again, because when you're hearing stats like that being broken, our club right now we've been dragged to new lows, mate. This is easily the worst Rangers team that I've seen in my lifetime, and include the banter years in that. I mean, and this is through Kashinya, this is through everything else that we have seen. This is a team that is bereft of any sort of attacking intent at times. We'll come to the second half, obviously, but at times just completely bereft of it. We can't hold the ball. We can't create chances. We have one guy on that park that looks creative for us, and nobody else does. Literally nobody else does. And defending, it's as if we've never done it before. I mean, it's schoolboy stuff at times. It really is terrible. We hit the bar with Schmidt, a header, probably a wee bit unlucky. Another one I thought he should have done better with, one at the near post. Thought he should have done better with that. I think, off the top of my head, I think that's only the real chances that we had in that first half.
One
and then
wee flick.
The wee flick. And then I mean, this goal... Remember the programme Football Nightmares, mate? This would be on Football Nightmares. This is you can't call it schoolboy, mate, because I don't even think it is that. I think it's worse than that. We play a ridiculously high line at a free kick. The guy running through starts his run about 5 yards in front of our line, straight through his mate, a pass along the ground. One touch to pass the ball through, one touch past the keeper, and it's 2-0 to Sturm Graz. And you're left looking at it going, this is comical. It's comical how bad this is. And it is, you're getting to the stage where you're going, what's the point?
Yeah. Scotia, I know Scotia's not on tonight, but I seen he was in the comments there, but he's mentioned this high line that we're playing under Russell Martin. I think he says we'll get done with it, but I might get done with it tonight. But it's switching off. It's such an easy one. And if they've just played a slip ball, the boys on side, and it's 2-0. And I don't know what else you say about it, Karen. I mean, you use word schoolboy football. It's shocking. It really is shocking. And I looked at it when we conceded it, and actually turned to my girlfriend and went, "Look at that! It's absolutely shambolic." And 2-0 down against an average team. And I don't know what that makes us. If they're average, what the hell does that make us at the moment? But they are bang average. That mob we played tonight, but that goal in particular, I feel sorry for Jack Butland as well. A guy that we thought probably wasn't good enough this season, and he's really kept us in games from it being a hammering at times. And he's probably looking about, going at that back line, going, "What the hell are we doing?" But I mean, we're playing at a high line, Karen. They've probably been told to do that by Russell Martin and his coaching staff. They've been told to do that. So it's on him that. And as Scotia said to me weeks and weeks ago when he was watching, he went, "Well, we're done with this," and it's fucking proved correct.
Yeah, half time you're sitting kind of scratching your head, wondering what is the point in this? What are we doing? Why are we continuing on? And how long are we going to have to suffer it? There is no doubt in my mind now that this is it, everybody. There is no chance of any sort of improvement. This is what he's going to do. There's not going to be a change in it. This is the style of football. This is the embarrassing representation of our club that we're going to have to watch. I think Scotia said that we might have a bit further off, but he said it halfway. I think when we're 2-1 down, 2-0 down, we're now 35th out of 36th in this competition right now. I mean, it's awfully bad considering the stature that we had, and I'm not being too over the top with it. We reached a European final a few years ago. Teams consider us a scalp, and right now they must be looking at it and going, "How the hell did you make a European final? Generally, how is that possible? How did you manage to get anywhere near that?" Second half, mate, he made changes with Majowski coming on for, who did he take off again? Ant-Man. Took off Ant-Man.
Who was terrible in the first half.
He wasn't great. No, he wasn't. Name somebody that was good in that first half, mate. Answers on a postcard, really there, mate. And the other change was Magoma coming off and Aaron's coming on. Yeah, and Rangers went to a kind of back three-ish thing for the first kind of considerable, for the kind of get-go, really, the first half. And we went hell for leather, mate, to get a goal. It was very... scattergun, I think is probably the nicest way to put it, but we managed to get a goal from it. A wonderful bit of work by Gassama on the left-hand side, who fires it past the keeper, mate, to make it 1-0. A guy that right now is a shining light for us because he's clearly the best thing that we have at the club right now. There is no doubt about it. But Ali, this was my point that I was going to make. Russell Martin's philosophy is what we see in that first half. That's his ideology. That's the way he wants to play football. When he abandons that completely and we literally fling things at a wall, we look like a better football team and we scored a goal from that sort of approach. I am not saying that that's the way I want to see Rangers playing football because long-term, sustainable, you can't sustain that. You can't. It leaves you far too vulnerable at the back and we're already vulnerable at the back, how easy it is to get through us. But when we're at a point that this scattergun throw everything at a wall thing works better than Russell Martin's original idea, surely now he must be able to see and go, right, this point, I need to start again. I need to scrap this and we need to go again with something completely different. Whether he's got the ability as a footballing head coach to do that is another discussion. But tonight proved to me that whatever he's trying to do, and it should prove to everybody else at the club, including Russell Martin, that what I'm trying to do isn't working. When the scattergun approach that I just fling everything on does work better than what I'm trying to do. And I'm not saying it was amazing, but we scored from it and it looked better than anything we've seen in that first half. It wouldn't have been hard for Rangers to be better. It wouldn't have been hard for Rangers to be better in the second half than we were the first. But there is no doubt when he changes away from the way that he starts football games, Rangers play better. And I'm not saying it's the ideal tactic, but he must be waking up to this and going, hang on a second here. What I'm doing isn't working. I need to start again. But will he? I wasn't calling him a Willie, by the way. I was asking, will he?
Yeah. No, I completely agree. The first half, which is Russell Martin's way of playing football, which we know is extremely boring to watch as a fan, and we're going absolutely nowhere with it. And when we go a couple of goals down and he just abandons it all and goes a bit gun-ho, if you want to say, it works for periods. It works for 20 minutes of a game, if you want to say. And it did in this game. I thought Rangers were good for 20, 25 minutes of the first half when it started. A back three, back four, whatever it was. Cornelius actually looked not bad on the left-hand side, linking up with...
It was a back two at times, mate.
Yeah,
honestly,
no, I know.
He
did go for it, and Cornelius was on the kind of left-hand side with Gassama. Gassama's the only guy... Our aim in the game is get the ball to Gassama and hope he does something. That's what it seems to be. And it was that in the first half. It was John Suter would play that diagonal ball over to Gassama and we'll hope he'll do something because he's our best player in terms of beating players. I felt for Gassama later on in the second half because I just thought he burned out because we just gave the ball to him and hoped. And just with, obviously, what you're talking about there when he linked up down the left-hand side, he scored a great goal. And I think that's him scored 5 goals, I think, for Rangers, all in European competitions so far. And he is a danger man for us. But teams know he is. They'll just double up on him soon. Because the right-hand side was kind of nullified as well, the way we played. But it got us back into the game, Carney. And it was a perfect time to score because there was a good 40-odd minutes still to go in the second half. And you thought, right, can we kick on? Because... the other mob, they weren't great, to be honest. And I did think at that point, could we get a second? Because we were looking a lot better, which wasn't hard, to be honest, because the first half, we were absolutely shambolic.
It was all over the place in that first half, mate, and I'd say it would have been impossible to be worse than it. It really would be. But it's not the first time we've said that again about this Russell Martin team. And no matter how much time's moving on and how many games we are playing, there is no improvement in this. This is the same thing that we see time after time. Rangers are far too easy to play against. We're far too vulnerable at the back. We don't create enough chances unless Russell Martin decides, right, I'm just going to fling on everybody. I mean, at one point tonight, we had... Danilo playing as like a 10 where Asgard was. I mean, if that doesn't tell you, it reeks of desperation from him. It really does. It's a guy that I would love to believe that he's feeling the pressure, but I've got no real faith that he's going anywhere, unfortunately, and this is something that we're going to need to be witness to for much longer to come. Obviously, Ali, the way we were set up, we were vulnerable at the back. Jack Button made a number of good saves, but Sturm Graz never recovered, I don't think, fully. They got back into the game a little bit for a little spell, but Rangers were the one that applied more pressure to it. Again, backing up what you said, if we'd got it right from the start, we should have won that game. And I'm no disrespect or being over the top here. As a Rangers fan going into a game against Genk at home and Sturm Graz away, I would expect Rangers to win them games in this competition based on the previous results and runs and performances that we've seen in this competition. So to come out with no points from the two games, it tells you everything that you need to know, in my opinion. He is making us worse, that we are not even nearly getting better. It's not even close to getting better now. And yeah, Ali, as you say, Asgard again for me posted missing pretty much that entire game. I thought he was poor. I thought he was very poor, to be honest. Ant-Man really struggled to get into the game, and when he did, was nowhere to be seen. I thought Tav at times was shockingly bad. I mean, simple things we were struggling to do. But look, mate, we're at the point now where this is what it is now. We can't... I don't think we're getting to the point where we can't actually expect it to get better, because we all know that it won't. And where we're at now, was Russell Martin desperate tonight, do you think? Do you think that is a sign of desperation with the players that he ended up finishing with on the park? I mean, the back three, if you want to call it that, ended at James Tavernier, Suter and Max Aarons, who, again, all are questionable defensively. So was it just a sheer reek of desperation from the manager tonight?
Yeah, it's a scattergun approach. You fling it on, and it's flinging paint at a wall and hoping it sticks. And I mean, when he brought Danilo on near the end, Karen, and we had three cycles, I thought, I mean, he's really flinging paint against a wall when he brings Danilo on. And you go through a few players there, can't you? Ant-Man for me, first half. From the guy we've seen break onto the scene at Ibrox, he just looks not even near the player we've seen. Shadow of himself. Asgard in the middle of the park. Extremely disappointed. Him plays on the edge of a game. Never. He's neat and tidy, Asgard, and he plays wee balls, but he never goes and drives with a ball. There's a few times he played the wrong ball. Disappointed in him.
He holds on for it for too long.
He does.
Release the ball.
He does. And I don't know what he offers us in that middle of the park. He's a guy that's playing a 10 that should be kind of making us tick, and he's not at all. I'm so disappointed in him, because he was the one guy that we all thought could come in and really do something. But he was really poor. And then up top, Chermiti, he's got this £8 million tag over his head where he'll get bashed with, but
I don't see an £8 million striker.
I know. I looked at him again tonight and thought, I'm not judging the guy yet. I'm really not, because of what's round about him, but I didn't think he was great. Miovski come on, did nothing for me, absolutely nothing again. Is it the way we're playing him? I don't know, but he's really flinging paint against a wall, Russell Martin, and hoping something happens. I don't know what his press conference, what he said so far. I don't know if the guy's in chat. I've maybe listened to him if he has been out so far.
I think it's on just now. I think people are watching
just
now.
Is it? I mean, I'm waiting to hear what I hear from him in terms of the usual buzzwords of we'll grow from this, and fucking if we've been great in training this week.
Fantastic in training. There's a great energy in the building.
We can't give cheap goals away, but we played well in the second half. But end of the day, it doesn't matter. We didn't win the game. As well as Rangers played in patches in the second half, and they were all right in the second half, Rangers. Let's not go overboard about it, because we were terrible in the first half. So that's why we looked slightly better in the second half. We didn't win the game. And to be sitting in the Europa League, which let's be honest about it, we've been good in the Europa League over the last 5-6 seasons, punched above our weight at times. But you looked at the two games, Genk and Sturm Graz, and you thought, that should be 6 points for Rangers. And if you look back to previous managers we've bumped, and I think they talked about it tonight on TNT Sports in terms of Clement, Gio, Gerrard. I think they said and they were speaking to McCoist, Rangers would get 6 points out of that. They would. These managers would get 6 points out of their games, and we should be getting 6 points out of their games, and we haven't. And when we're sitting, whatever it is, second bottom of the Europa League, because we deserve to be there, we are simply not good enough. And we talk about Sturm Graz tonight in terms of they're an average team. They are an average team, but we're an average team right now.
Well,
Bang
worse
average.
than that, mate.
Probably worse than
that. We are worse than that. I would class Rangers right now as a bad team. We are a bad team with a bad manager, mate. I'm going off in rants and tangents, mate, but we have players within that team that we should be able to beat Sturm Graz and Genk. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Like, there isn't. If we just play football, like, free up the shackles, just stop this side-to-side nonsense, tighten up at the back. It's not rocket science, this. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's not. And I agree. When the chips are down with this Rangers team, and he does go a bit more plug and paint against the walls, we say we look better because the chains are off the players and they can play with a slight bit more freedom and they look better. But when they're playing under the Russell Martin system, if you want to say, I just think they look clueless and they look scared to do certain things, and the build-up slow from the back. It's just, I just don't see any improvement. And we've got Falkirk coming up next week. No, I'm going to say next week, Sunday, we play Falkirk before we go into international break. And nobody's getting any faith in this Rangers team, who we play. I mean, nobody had faith Rangers playing Livingston at the weekend. And rightfully so, because we nearly made an arse of that. Tonight, we've gone back again because we've been beaten again. He can't go on a run, can he? We said when he beat Hibs, he's got to go on a run. And you look at it, we played Hibs, next game, beaten. Livingston, scraped it. Can he go on a run again? No. Struck that straight away, beaten again. So I just don't know how you can correctly. I don't know how you can go with Russell Martin. What does the board see in what he's putting on the park? I don't know how far it needs to go before they pull the trigger, because there's absolutely nothing. And even guys like McCoist tonight watching it, and he's sitting there as a fan as well as us, and he's saying the same thing as us. It's soul destroying to watch. And Rangers have went majorly backwards over the last few years. And this year, when we've had major investment, the best part of 20 million spent on a team, we look worse than last season. It's a major worry, Carney. But I don't know how bad it has to get before they pull the trigger.
I'm not sure they will, mate. Honestly, I'm not sure they will. If they haven't done it by now, I don't know when they will. Honestly, I don't. I would love to believe that it would happen. I think it's long overdue. I'm not even going to give them the satisfaction, really, of saying, "Oh, if we drop points against Falkirk at the weekend, he should go." He should have went ages ago. We shouldn't be still in this position just now, and I've seen Craig saying there after international break, it's probably the best opportunity to do so, which is after the Falkirk game. But I've got no faith that they will, especially with, as I say, the scenario with Thelwell. Again, a guy that I'm increasingly moving my crosshairs over the top of, because I can't. I honestly, we're at the point now, mate. I genuinely believe it's the worst Rangers team I've ever seen. We've signed an £8 million striker that was brought in by a guy that originally played 15 million for him. So he's gave some of his money back to his old club. And what my opinion so far looks like a guy's allergic to putting the ball in the back of the net. We are now at the point where he has been on a thorough recruitment drive and appointed his son. And we have been told as fans that we're the ones that are wrong. It is shithousery towards the fans of a new level, mate. Shithousery that the Spivs would be proud of. And I'm at the point where I'm like, and I still don't see Russell Martin getting sacked. He's not going to sack his son Thelwell, and he's definitely not going to sack Martin, is he? So this is the way that it's going to continue on now. We're a mess from top to bottom. I've got real concerns about every element of the club right now. Obviously, it's all heightened after a disastrous performance as we've seen for the majority of tonight, especially in that first half. And we can't just continue on down this road. We play poor for 45 minutes, end up 2 goals behind, and then throw everything at a wall second half and hope something sticks. Because it's not sustainable. It isn't. It's not going to bring results. It's not going to lead us to anywhere that we believe as a fan base that pour our money into the club. We will not accept this mediocrity. And if we start accepting this, and the board and the owners and Martin and Thelwell start accepting that this is okay, then that's it. The game's a bogey. The fans will never ever accept this mediocre crap that we're getting forced to watch just now under a guy that I've got absolutely zero faith in. I wouldn't even trust Russell Martin to make me a cup of tea. Never mind anything else. Honestly, I genuinely wouldn't. I want the guy gone, and I wanted him gone about 2 or 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. So yes, terrible, absolutely terrible. We have got 0 points out of these 2 games so far, and 2 games that we as Rangers support probably believe that we should have got at least, well, probably 6 from. I would say 6 from. Ali, I've ranted a bit tonight. I do know that. I do apologise, but I'm fed up with it. I really am fed up. Thank you, mate. Any final thoughts on tonight?
Not really, to be honest. It kind of went how I thought it was going to go. I knew we would chip some sort of comedy goal. Just happens we chipped 2 comedy goals tonight. Had a late wee flurry, but it's not good enough. And to be sitting with 0 points after 2 games against the 2 teams we've played, we deserve to be where we're at. I think the next game we play in Europa League is Bran away in a few weeks' time. And then we've got Roma at home after that. So it's going to be tough for Rangers to get out of this Europa League looking at it. But
we won't. But let's not fucking beat around the bush here.
We won't.
We're not.
And Europa League for me is a sideshow this season. And
for the owners it's not, but for the owners it's not.
Well, it's not, but for me it's a sideshow. Domestically, that's where we need to get our house in order. The league is where we need to get our house in order. We play Falkirk at the weekend. I can see that going a similar way to Livingston on Sunday there. Falkirk also playing a plastic park as well, I think.
Brilliant.
And they'll be up for it. Falkirk, they've just come up from the Championship last season. They'll be up for it. It's their cup final. Can our players rise to it? Christ, we don't know. And then we go into an international break, Carney. But I just don't see anything. We've said it for I don't know how many weeks now under this Russell Martin team. We don't see it. There's absolutely nothing. We're getting worse week by week. There was purple patches in the Livingston game in the first half, but then it just went out the window in the second half. So, yeah, I don't see any improvement under this Rangers team. But he has to just keep winning games of football. He has to beat Falkirk on Sunday. But he looks like a guy that's quite calm, quite assured. As I agree with you, Can. Regardless of what happens, even if we draw against Falkirk or get beat against Falkirk at the beginning, I still don't think he'll go. No, I think he's been told he'll be at the end of the season regardless. And he looks like a guy that doesn't have pressure on him. So it's a sad state of affairs being a Rangers fan at the moment. It's really poor to go. It's depressing to actually watch them at the moment. I do not enjoy watching Rangers at the moment. It's a major chore.
You spend more of your time on your phone now watching Rangers. I do in the house anyway. Usually when we've got a game on, I don't even really chat in the group chats, mate. When Rangers are playing the telly and I'm watching in the house, I'll tend to put my phone down. I spent the majority of that game on my phone tonight, and I think that tells you everything. It really does. I've got nothing. There's no gander for me with Rangers just now because I'm just watching my club just get dragged to new lows. I know I'm repeating myself, but I've got nothing. There's nothing about this Rangers team, and there's nothing about the fans anymore. And you're going to just start seeing dwindling attendances, mate. You're going to see dwindling sales and everything. And it's not really boycotting. This will be a natural thing that happens. People will just go, I'm not doing it. I'm not bothering my arse because the people that are running our club are not bothering their arse. And yeah, that's where we're getting to just now. It really is where we're getting to.
Well, they are now. I mean, you speak to people, and you'll speak to people in your job, Can, as well. And they've had enough. I know guys that come into my work season ticket holders at Ibrox that have said, I'm not going back. I'm just not going back until he's gone. They've said they've made the decision. Other guys saying, I don't even want to go and watch Rangers anymore. They're that boring to watch. It's soul destroying going to Ibrox, sitting there watching it. I actually said tonight the only upside is we don't need to go back to Ibrox. I think it's the 18th of October. I think it's Dundee United. I think it's the next game at Ibrox. So we need to go back for our sins, but it's crap to watch, Carney. As a fan, it's absolute crap to watch. And I just don't see it getting any better. I really don't. And they've got a chance, the board, to change it by removing Russell Martin. They're 7 points behind Celtic in the league, 9 points behind Hearts. But they've got a chance to change it and give us something. But if they continually stick with Russell Martin, which I think they will to the end of the bloody season, you'll see fans vote. They'll vote with their feet, Carney, and they won't go back to Ibrox. And that's a sad state of affairs because we enjoy going to see our club, but at the moment, it's not enjoyable.
It isn't enjoyable, mate. It's your enjoyment and everything's pretty much getting ripped out you because of this. You just don't look to the game. Match days don't feel the same. Going to the football doesn't feel the same. It doesn't. And then they say we've got a game against Falkirk, which is another must win. There's absolutely no reason to expect anything otherwise than 3 points from Rangers. But and I know you've got plenty of money, mate, but I wouldn't even put your money on Rangers winning. Rangers winning on Sunday. I genuinely.
All my money goes to bloody Rangers, can't
No, mate. No. Right. So. No, that'll do us for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night with Club Live to go over. We'll have a chance to. I can't wait to sit down and listen to Russell Martin, really. But we'll discuss the rest of the carry on that's happened, the continuing circus that Rangers seem to be right now. We'll discuss more of that tomorrow night on Club Live. And yeah, as we look ahead, well, we don't look ahead. We preview the next fiasco, which will be an away trip to Falkirk. Thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're on the push to 8,000. We're so close to 8,000 now, which is mega. And yeah, if you enjoy this negative podcasting, hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications button, and you'll be full of negativity as long as Russell Martin's about. That's what I'm absolutely sure for. But we always say it how we feel. We genuinely do. I've ranted a wee bit tonight because I'm annoyed. I'm tired and I'm annoyed and I'm bored of this absolute circus that I'm getting forced to watch. It is doing my head in. But yeah, that'll do us. Thank you, Ali, for joining me. We'll speak to you tomorrow night on Club Live. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers, everybody.